Hey everybody, it's Blonde Blitz time. Let's go. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Blonde Blitz. I'm your host, Deb Whitcas. I have got a fantastic show for you this evening. We're going to talk all about Super Bowl, pre-Super Bowl, everything Super Bowl. My special guests are from Off the Field NFL Wives Association, Dr. Hagar Algundy Pearman, the wife of former running back for the Bengals, Cedric Pearman, and Lacey Leonard, the wife of former NFL DT Lewis Leonard. The ladies are here to talk about the fabulous events that the wives are hosting during Super Bowl week. As far as the rest of the show, my good friend and Eagles connoisseur, Courtney Harden from The Real Deal, joins me for hot takes from the conference championship weekend. Comedian Ton Durham is here. He is live with us to give his funny take on the conference championship and maybe Super Bowl II. Shay Holland, HGTV designer to the athletes, is here to give you your ultimate at-home Super Bowl setup. And sports betting expert Alex White and Frank Nicotero from Punchlines are here to give you your best bets for Super Bowl. And finally, the one, the only, Ben Troop, former tight end for the Titans and the Bucks. He's going to join me for Super Bowl game picks. All right, guys, shall we do it? Let's get it started. We're going to skip over headlines this week and go right to hot takes. Courtney Harden, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Fly Eagles fly, go
Fly,
birds.
fly,
We
go
are
birds.
here. We're back in the Super Bowl. How you doing,
Yes.
Deb? How you doing today?
Good. I'm doing fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Still on my high from that NFC championship and still
Yes.
celebrating and ready
Yes.
for the Super Bowl. So I know you are too.
What were your initial reactions when the score was insane, but what were your
Yeah.
when you knew we had the game, what were your initial reactions?
I was like, wow. Like this we saved all of this for all season to put a performance up like this. It wasn't, I mean, the score, yes, was a little surprising because we just kept pouring on. I figured I think I had it like 31-20, 34-20, something like that. That was
What would
my
I had to?
prediction,
Yeah.
something like that. So, but when they scored 55, I was like, wow, they just kept it, they just kept going, kept scoring.
Yep.
And it was amazing to see, and it just I'm just excited that they're back in the Super Bowl after the debacle and the collapse of last season. So
Right.
yeah, very excited for this the Super Bowl rematch from
Yes.
2 years ago.
I wanted the Bills to win, but Kansas City,
Yeah.
obviously won, and now hopefully we have a revenge game on our hands.
Yes.
And I'm also super impressed, 55, the score was 55-23. It was the highest point tally ever scored
Yeah.
in an NFC championship game. I mean, Hurts threw for 246 yards. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. Barkley had 118 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. I saw the look on his face during the national anthem. I looked at Barkley's eyes and I was like, he
Yeah.
is locked in.
Yes, locked in. And coming from, the Commanders had that 18 play first drive, got a field goal. I think they went
Mhm.
for it for a fourth down. I think they got it 2 or 3 times on the first drive. And then the first play from scrimmage, a pitch play to Barkley, he takes it to the house 60 yards. I'm like, yeah, he's locked in. Like the Eagles they're locked in. They're ready to run over these
They're ready
Commanders, and
to
that's
go.
what they did.
Yeah. How do you think their performance is going to go for the Super Bowl?
I kind of hope the same way. And if Jalen Hurts plays like we know he can play, like he's what he's capable of, we've seen this. We've seen him
Yeah.
play at the highest level. He's played in the Super Bowl. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes
Mhm.
in the last Super Bowl. I mean, for the
And
for
they almost
the
beat them last time. I mean, they lost by 3 points.
yeah,
It was
3
due to
points.
a
Yeah,
penalty that they lost. If
right,
they the
right.
penalty didn't
But
happen,
yeah,
they would have
yeah.
won.
For 58 minutes, they outplayed the Kansas City Chiefs
Mhm.
for 58 minutes. But those last 2 minutes, the penalty, and you gave Patrick Mahomes too much time. And then they got right down the field, got a field goal. They held the ball, got a field goal in. So yeah, I can, this time I think it's going to be a little different because of Saquon Barkley, and our defense is so much better, and they say
Mhm.
Saquon's the equalizer. So I can see the Eagles playing at that level like they did, and so yeah, I could definitely see, um, I can see the Eagles actually pulling this one off. It's gonna be tough, but I can see them pulling this one off.
And you know what I was impressed with the championship game was the conference championship, at least Lane Johnson stepping in to be center when Cam Jurgens was hurt. That
Yes,
I was impressed.
yeah, that was very impressive. An interesting thing with Landon Dickerson playing center, and then he gets injured, his leg,
Mhm.
and then Cam Jurgens is like, okay, he says one man's down, I got to come back, and he's got the back injury. He
Yeah,
comes in, and in the second half, and plays center, and yeah, that was very impressive. And he's like, I can't let my guy just go out to dry like that. I got to come in and and play center, because there was some miscommunication in the beginning. Of course, Landon Dixon, he doesn't
yeah.
play center,
Did I say
so
Lane Johnson? I said meant
yeah,
Dickerson.
yeah, Dickerson, yes, Dickerson,
Yeah,
yeah, Dickerson. So he had to slide to center,
right.
during the first half. So he's battling out there, and Jurgens is, he was dressed, so he came in the second half, and the Eagles just they ran away with it at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I also love the fact that it's Saquon Barkley's and Cooper DeJean's birthday on Super
Yes.
Bowl. What a better birthday present could that be?
Oh my God, such a I mean Cooper DeJean,
Yeah,
Quinyon Mitchell, that young secondary with Slay. It's just amazing how improved this defense has been,
yeah.
and number one defense heading into the Super Bowl. I mean, we were flying, uh, pun intended, on all cylinders. So for sure.
Absolutely. What as far as the Chiefs, I mean, they're going for a three-peat. It would be the first three-peat in NFL history.
Yeah,
A lot of people are favoring them right now, including the officials.
yeah, yeah. Including official.
Let's talk about, do you think they can make this history, or I mean, Eagles have a really good chance of beating them, but
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that actual game?
I mean, tough task. It's going to be a real tough task
Yeah.
because, as you said, Chiefs and the refs. I see someone put that in the comments, and it's so true. But it's interesting. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's great. I mean, we can't deny that the man is great, and there's 1-5 is back there. Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes. That's one of the biggest storylines of this season, and they had a lot of close games. I remember we did you had did a show which I was on, it was like a panel we did, a round table, and we were saying, the Chiefs are in a lot of close games, but as long as 15's healthy, they're going to probably go to the Super Bowl, and here they are. So
Mhm.
it wouldn't be surprising if they do win, because they're just that good. So just being transparent about it, they're
Yeah.
that good. The Eagles are going to have to play their A game to beat them, because they got 2 weeks to prepare. They said they've been here, and it's one of the big storylines. So three-peating has never been done in NFL. So if anybody can do it, it could be the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I do think the Eagles have the best squad that they've had in a really long time. I mean, if
Yes.
anybody can beat Kansas City, it's going to be the Eagles. I mean, Jalen Hurts is playing at a high level despite
Yeah.
his knee injury. The O
Right.
line is the best it's ever been. We definitely do miss, with not Travis, Jason Kelsey, but um,
Yeah.
but I was hoping. I didn't he call the game? I was like, oh, maybe when
He.
Cam got hurt and everything.
I think so. He was
I was like,
there.
can you jump in?
Yeah, he was there. He was definitely there. You brought up a point with Jalen Hurts, and he's taken so much criticism this past season because of the so-called the lack of production in the passing game. And I find it interesting. I'm a big Hurts fan, but
Oh,
I find it interesting with Hurts is that he just does what it takes to win. He just continues to win no matter what it is. I mean, we've been running like wild in a historic way with Saquon Barkley. So
Yeah.
why not continue to ride Saquon Barkley? And look, at Hurts was in his bag this past weekend, which I had a feeling he was gonna go out there and do his thing
Yeah.
with the passing because he's done it before. It's like he's every time he gets questioned, every time he gets you get criticized, like, oh, this is what I love when he said, "Is this what you're looking for? Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah,
I can I
exactly.
can
Yeah.
throw for
Like,
two I can
don't
throw for 250 and
yeah,
300 yards too, and still run." So he does whatever it takes to win. He's a very efficient passer. He's just not turning the ball over, which we
mhm.
want that from our quarterback because when they don't turn the ball over, they're winning, and now they're in the Super Bowl. So I mean, all the criticism that Hurts has taken, I'm just like, okay, yeah, he's not throwing as many yards as as he did before, but we've seen it 2 years ago where he can average almost 300 plus yards. So it's probably going to take something like that again. But as long as you got Saquon running wild,
I agree.
that's
Yeah,
what it's going
it's
to be.
I think
Yeah.
we've got the correct combination.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do. Let's talk a little bit about the Bills and
Mm,
that heartbreaking loss,
yes.
that fourth quarter drop on 4 and 5th. Dalton Kincaid, who I love,
Ugh.
kind of sealed that deal though with that loss. But was it really his fault?
No, because I can't. I'm not going to blame
Mhm.
because Josh Allen, he just threw it up, and Kincaid was just right there. The ball, I mean, hit him in his hands, and they said if it hits you in the hands, you catch it. Okay, that's the model. We get that, but there was a lot of different things to that contributed for them to lose. They went for it. I think they went for it on fourth down. And you had that, they thought it was should have been a first down or a touchdown or whatever it was. They doubt you had that. I mean, the Bills were right in. They were right there. So I
Yep, you
don't
are.
blame just that drop because if they score, okay, so they get the ball, they score, and if there's a field goal or a touchdown, you still give Mahomes a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and that's one quarterback that you want the ball in your hands for 2 minutes is Patrick Mahomes. So even if they would have got it, I think Mahomes would have went right down the field. They would have got a field goal and
Yeah,
won anyway. So
I
I
agree with
can't
you on
really
that
blame
too.
Kincaid for dropping that. Yes, he dropped it, but it wasn't the reason why they lost.
Yeah, yeah. How about with the Commanders? Jaden Daniels obviously has had
Mm.
an amazing season, his rookie season. He's the sixth rookie quarterback to start a conference championship. What did you think of his performance against the Eagles?
It was up and down. I mean, he was a little shaky. I mean, he's what 29 for I think it was 29 for 48,
Yeah.
255 yards and a touchdown. Yes, he had some shaky moments, and he was pressured a lot throughout this
Well,
game.
because look at the defense. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
number
defense. I
one
mean,
defense in the NFL, Eagles.
yes,
I mean,
Vic Fangio he
yeah.
had a good game plan, but Daniels is good. He's very good, and I mean he had a really really good rookie season, and very impressive. So the Commanders they're gonna be fine. I think they'll be
Mhm.
fine. I think being on the road, it's tough to win three straight on the road, and I mean they beat
And to
Detroit
win at the link.
and to win at the link, and the Eagles were home for the last 5 weeks, so it
Yes.
had to go through Philly, and it just yeah, it was. I think it was just a little too much at the end, but Daniels is Daniels is fine. I think they'll be, and then Cliff Kingsbury is coming back too. So I mean, they got that combination with that. So the Commanders they're gonna be good.
Right. And it's funny because I have a funny story. So I hang out at an Eagles bar in Hermosa Beach, and that's where I was
Hmm.
because I wanted to come back to LA to prep for Super Bowl. So I went and joined with my friends, and it's called the South Bay Eagles Alliance. And I walk in, and a ton of people had seen from my Facebook post. I'm a Jalen Daniels fan. I think he should get Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And to be honest, and I love Terry McLaurin. I've said it a million times. I say it on every show, I think. And I mean, Commanders are my number two. I'm gonna be honest. I think they're like of the, I enjoy watching the team. I love Brian Robinson Jr. And I walked into the bar, and people literally like turned their back to me, and they're like, "How can you come in here and say Commanders are your number two?" It's like I'm like, but they're I'm head to toe Eagles gear, like head to
Yeah.
toe.
You're right. You're like, I'm an Eagles fan.
Like,
Like, don't get it twisted. I'm an Eagles
yeah,
fan.
like Eagles hair, like I
Yeah,
green
yeah, yeah.
hair
Right, right.
and like a cap, like I'm full decked out sequins green. And they're like, "Wait, how can you say the Commanders are your second?" I'm like, "I don't want them to win this game. Like, don't get it twisted, guys."
For
Um,
sure,
but
right.
anyway, I was a little hurt. I felt like people were mad at me.
You're like,
But
don't, I'm a fly Eagles fly girl,
yeah,
so they'll,
flag is flag.
yes.
Let's go. Who is your MVP pick for this season?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, I would go Saquon, but
That's what's so hard as an Eagles fan. You're like, I want to go Saquon
I would
Barkley,
go Saquon.
but
But I think Lamar Jackson's gonna get
yeah.
his third. I think he had another historic year. He wasn't turn the ball over, and he put up the numbers. And Josh Allen, of course, is deserving too. So I wouldn't mind it being a tie, but I think Lamar Jackson's gonna get the MVP just because of he just put up another historic year for him, and he seemed like he played even better this season than he did last year, and he won their MVP. So I think it's going to be Lamar by a slight margin to over Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be between those two as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bills got further in the postseason, but I think Lamar had a better performance than Josh did. Although Josh was playing lights out too, so
Yeah.
We will see. Well, I'm going to ask you for your Super Bowl pick, but I probably don't need to. Just as a journalist, I probably should. So.
Right. Yes. As of early now, but I'm going Eagles. I think they're gonna. They go with Barkley. They're gonna run the football. I think Kansas City's gonna be tough. The Eagles are gonna have to get a big lead though. I think they're gonna have to get a huge lead. Now, last season the last Super Bowl that it was the Eagles and Chiefs, I believe that the Eagles didn't have a big enough lead. Like 10 points wasn't enough, and that's not enough to beat the Chiefs. So they're gonna have like a 17 or 20-point lead or something like that. But I feel like it's gonna be like 34-28 Eagles as of right now. So and Barker will win MVP. I think he's gonna run wild. He's gonna get a
I
couple
think so too.
touchdowns, 100+ yards. And I think
I
Jalen will
agree.
have 2 touchdowns as well. But he's gonna throw the football. He's gonna show that. Again, I think Jalen's gonna show I'm still a good enough quarterback to lead this team. I'm in the Super Bowl right now to what I've done throughout my career.
Mhm.
Anytime my back's against the wall, I'm gonna show you guys that I can still lead a team and keep winning and not turn the ball over.
Yeah, I agree. And also, just want to go to our comments real quick. Hamid asked, why not Barkley? He had the biggest impact for MVP. You mentioned Barkley too. I just don't. I think they're going to go with a quarterback.
Yeah, they always
Crazy.
do.
That's
They
what
always
I would
do.
say. Barkley in a heartbeat. I think
Me
he's the
too.
best player in the
I agree.
NFL overall.
Mm-hmm. I totally
Man
agree.
is not human, but I don't know. I just don't. They very very rarely goes to someone who's
Now,
not
if he would have won, if they would have let him play the last game and he got the rushing record, I think Barkley for sure would have got MVP. But he ran over 2,000 yards, which has only been done by 8 other running backs,
Mhm.
and the impact that he had on the Eagles, I totally get that. But I think it's gonna be a quarterback, and it's always been a quarterback, and it's not fair, but it's always been a quarterback. So just about. So I got to go either Lamar or Josh, and I think it's gonna be Lamar.
All right, Courtney. Flagless fly.
Yes,
Where can
Flag is fly.
our audience find you?
Yes, you can find me in the Real Deal podcast on all podcast platforms, all social platforms. I get the Real Deal, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, BS3 Network. So yeah, you can find it on all those platforms. So again, thank you again, always, Deb. We're gonna have to do something next week when you're
Yes.
at Radio Row. I'm gonna miss
Yes.
you there this season.
I know.
But,
It was great last year. We ran to each other at the
podcast. So for sure.
We will be missed, and I'm sure we'll check in during the game as well. So
Yeah, we will. So for sure. All right, but enjoy the Super Bowl. Really
thank
appreciate the
you.
time. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
See you.
All right, guys. Comedian Todd Marcel Dorm is next. He's here with us live. Todd. Todd, hi.
How you doing? I'm happy to be live.
I know it's the first time you're live. I'm very excited to have you here.
The pink electricity circling both of us feels good. It feels
it's
energetic.
A good energy, right? Pink's good. Yeah. Electricity's good. What did you think of the championship?
Yeah, the conference championship. There was a couple of them. We had the Eagles versus the Commanders, then we had Bills. versus the Chiefs plus the refs. And
Yep.
so, and I don't think we should ever take the plus refs away from the conversation when you're talking about Chiefs versus a team in a big game like that. Is that just me?
No, they won that game. I mean, the KC won the game, but yeah, no, every single game has refs in it.
Look, when you're Kansas City and you have all the players that they have and Andy Reid, you're already a really good team. You don't need additional help. Like it's if you don't keep plus refs in the conversation of like, okay, it's the Eagles versus the Chiefs plus the refs. That's what it should be on all of the official branding, because that's what it was in their first matchup. That penalty against Bradbury was absolutely phantom, just like there's a phantom call against Rams versus the Bengals. These things turn the tide. These things create dynasties. There's a reason why Mahomes has like these atmospheric, out of this world records right now. It would be like if, okay, let's just say, okay, football is a game of field positioning and of possession. Okay, if you are in a good field position to score, you can have a chance of field goal or touchdown. If you have the ball, you can have a chance to do one of the two. In this game, that Worthy possession, that catch on against Worthy, absolutely ridiculous. And then the first down, they got the first down on two separate occasions, and they're like, no, let's give the ball back to Mahomes at like the 45-yard line. That's like if I was a marathon runner, right? And I was like pretty decent, and I was already kind of setting a few records like in Columbus, Ohio, and then I'm like, I'm going to go to Boston to try to run it. And then like for a mile or two, there was a horse on the side of the road, and I just jumped on the horse. And then they're like, did this guy win the marathon? That's pretty cool, right? And then everyone's like, no, he stole my horse. Did you not see
count?
That doesn't count. Like there was a horse was involved in the marathon. Like if he won the Boston Marathon, that's great, good for him. But please include a photo of him riding a horse for at least 2 miles. Absolutely include that. And that's no different than Chiefs versus the Bills, because I'm going crazy. Like I have not been playing football since the third grade in '89. Okay, to have this happen. There's there's just a reason why Mahomes is just this out of this world records, because he keeps getting these calls. They're just literally overturning games, and it's happening in front of us, and we're still betting on like GoDaddy.gamble.gov or something like that. And it's just like, what are we even talking about anymore?
What about Jaden Daniels' dance moves?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. What about Jaden Daniels? You guys are down by like 3 possessions at the time. Do you know that? Do you know that like you don't need to dance, that you can audition for America's Top Dance? It looked like he was Little Romeo, a backup dancer for Little Romeo out there or something like that. He wasn't even doing like a dance that other people know about. He was just like, this is a dance that I'm trying to like make. Who are you seducing? Are you seducing the other team's nose tackle? Because that's the only thing that is actually effective in this moment. Like his offensive line was trying to celebrate with him, and he's like still trying to hit his moves. He was doing like multiple 360s. You're down by 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, and there's like 7 minutes left. And people were defending this practice in the comments of Instagram. They're saying, if I was in the NFC Championship, I would do the same thing. It's like, well, that's the reason you're not there, and that's the reason why he might not go again. Like, I can't be the only one who was beside myself looking at this.
Yeah, no. And you also wanted to talk about the new Jaguars head coach too.
Yeah. So there's aura, there's energy, they're setting a tone. And then there's the new Jaguars head coach when he said in his press conference, Duval. Like he was sneaking around an escape room, and that was the password to get out or something like that. Like, is this the password? Because I can't figure out the puzzle to leave because I'm scared on the inside of my body. And that's how he said Duval in a press conference. If you look at that versus Dan Campbell when he said we're going to rip off people's lips and bite off their kneecaps and eat their families and their children's children. Like there's that. And then there's this guy going, Duval. Like I can't get it out of my head. And I can't even imagine how hard that guy's getting cooked in the group chat of the players for the Jaguars.
He's not even there yet.
He's not even there. There's no way one of those players is like, damn, that dude's what's up. That's my guy. Not a chance. Like he's getting cooked harder in that group chat than I get cooked in every bro chat that I'm in over my Cavs. It's every day. It's relentless. and they're all suggesting I get calf implants one day, but I don't have the money. So if you guys want to crowdfund that in the comments, please do so.
Go fund me for Todd, guys. All right, Todd, give me your Super Bowl prediction.
I want both. Sadly, I'm sorry. Please forgive me on this. The only thing that I want to have happen in predictions is that I don't want to have Jalen Hurts do any press conferences, because when he talks to reporters, he talks like he's in the 90s trying to talk to a member of SWV to ask him on the date. So whatever happens,
I interviewed some of the off the field ladies, and one of the members of SWV was in the group. I bring it up during the interview. I can't believe you just brought that up.
He talks like he's auditioning to be like the guy who's like has a romantic issue with his partner, and like before the music video starts, yeah, baby, what's up? Yeah, I'm sorry I did. That's how he talks in press conferences. All I care about is that not happening, but I know I'm going to go on Twitter and I know he's going to sound like he's making love to the microphone. It's like, dude, shut up. Shut up. That plus the Chiefs lose. I don't want that. I don't want joy. I don't want them to feel joy. No joy for the Chiefs.
No joy.
No Jalen Carter talking like he's trying to be in a music video for SWV. No Chiefs happiness.
No,
is that fair?
Chiefs happiness. No.
None at
All
all.
right, Todd, thank you so much. Where can our audience find you?
Todd Marcel Durham, website and all socials.
All right, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Soon. All right, guys, my special guests this week are from Off the Field NFL Wives Association, Dr. Hagar Al-Gundy Pearman, the wife of former running back for the Bengals, Cedric Pearman, and Lacey Leonard, wife of former NFL DT Lewis Leonard. I got a chance to catch up with the ladies about the fabulous events that the organization is hosting during Super Bowl week. Check it out. Dr. Hagar and Lacey, how are you guys? Welcome to the Blonde Blitz.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Ladies, I know you're so busy. You're planning these events for Off the Field NFL Wives Association. I appreciate you for being here and for taking the time out of your day. Can you believe it's Super Bowl? It's almost Super Bowl week.
I know. That's insane, right?
Where did time go, right? What it's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. As NFL wives, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan.
That's the correct answer, by the way.
Yes, I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. He's him and my husband are in the same frat, so I'm definitely in support. So I'm hoping that they bring home the win for sure. What about you, Dr. Hagar?
I don't know. I feel like most NFL wives, if they don't have like a connection to the team in some capacity, they're going to tell you they're still rooting for their home team. So okay. I am still rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals, but we've got, that are on both sides of the ball. So, we pray for them, we encourage them, and that's all that we can do at this point.
Well, and you know what? Joe Burrow might be MVP. He's still in the running. You never know, right?
Yes. It should be good either way, though. Like you said,
agree. It's going to be a really good game. KC might get the 3-peat. Philadelphia Eagles are going for number 2. So yeah, it should be just an exciting week all around. Yes. So I wanted to bring you guys on to talk about the events you have going on for Off the Field, NFL Wives. First off, though, let's talk a little bit about exactly what OTF is. So go ahead, Lacey.
So Off the Field NFL Wives Association, we are basically the official NFL Wives organization. We started, I believe, in February of 2006. So this is an organization that has been around for a very long time. We're derived of current and former NFL players' wives. And basically our mission is to be able to give back. We do a lot of philanthropy efforts. We do a lot in our communities throughout the country. We have a lot of different initiatives where we are really just trying to, move the I don't know, move the needle forward, if you will. Off the Field NFL Wives has hosted a fashion show for the last 24 years. And every year we host this fashion show, and all of the proceeds that we give, we always specifically want to give back to nonprofit organizations that are in line with our mission. So we always want to connect with other organizations in the host city of the Super Bowl. So.
Amazing. And what is the charity that you're connecting with this year for the fashion show?
We're actually going to be donating a portion of the proceeds to two separate nonprofit organizations in New Orleans. So the first organization is the Robert Royal Foundation, and that is a local New Orleans foundation who does a lot of work with adolescents, so dealing with the youth. And then the other organization is what is it called again? I'm sorry. Sideline Pass. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sideline Pass is the other organization. That is an organization who specifically works with young ladies, and it is founded by, I'm losing my train of thought here, I'm so sorry, Jennifer Hell. She is a world-renowned reporter. She does
I know Jen.
You know Jen? Okay.
I do. I'm not sure if she knows me. I know who she is.
Right. She does amazing work with NBA and NFL. And so it's her foundation. And, she does a lot of work with young women and just trying to empower young women and encourage young women, which is something that Off the Field is, really in line with. So she's our other organization that we're going to be donating a portion of the proceeds. So,
and actually, I'm actually on a host committee with Jen Welter. So Jen Welter is the first female coach of the NFL.
Yes, I know.
She's doing a bunch of, she's doing 3 or 4 different events, and Jen's actually on the host committee as well. So I'm glad to, hear her name as well. So the fashion show, it's your 24th annual charity fashion show. It's on Friday, February 7th from 2 to 4 p.m.
Yes.
What can we expect?
Well, first you want to make sure you get to the VIP. You don't want to miss all the fun VIP stuff that's going to be happening at the beginning. So there will be like a VIP reception that starts at 11. So from like 11 to 1, it'll be a VIP reception. It'll be a pink carpet. So people will be walking the pink carpet, networking, talking. For Super Bowl week, it's really like a big reunion for the most part. So people who haven't had the opportunity to see each other, throughout the year, they all are coming together. So you're going to see people laughing, talking, strutting that pink carpet, talking about what they're wearing. And it's just really such a good time. It's a fun time for the men and a lot of the players that come because, they get that camaraderie back. It's like that locker room talk. And then also for a lot of the wives and friends, they get to fellowship and just, be in support of one another. So it's going to be a fabulous, fun event. So,
and you just mentioned fellowship. Dr. Hagar, can you talk about the sisterhood of OTF?
I can't. Especially the past couple of years in my own personal life, I've learned that, there's some things in my life that I do out of necessity and I've got to do them, and some things that you just do out of passion. And I would say that within the OTF sisterhood, I have found my passion and my purpose. There's such a bond when you're on an NFL team. You get to grow alongside ladies. You get to really it's not an easy season of life. You're transitioning to different kinds of roles. Some of us become young mothers at those, at that point in life. So walking together and, at that time of our life, and then what is life like after the NFL afterwards. And OTF is with you in every stage. So when you're in life and you're learning to navigate the dynamics on different teams, when you're transitioning and trying to figure out what's life going to look like next, and when you're retired and really just kind of sitting in the wisdom and everything that you've learned, OTF is that sisterhood that can walk alongside you in every part and in every one of those seasons.
And what are your ladies' positions in OTF?
So currently I serve as our parliamentarian for Off the Field, and also I am one of the sponsorship co-chairs. So I work really closely with one of our founders of Off the Field. Her name is Ashley Brown. And she's just, like Hagar mentioned, just having like that camaraderie and just that sisterhood, showing us, how things have been done and showing us ways that we can, pour in our own creativity with Off the Field has just been like really nice to be a part of such, a warming and fulfilling like environment for me. So
Totally. because she's the star of the show. So
You're so funny.
Well, and Dr. Hagar, you are you do community outreach for OTF, correct?
Yes, I'm the vice president of the Off the Field NFL Wives Association. I'm also the chair of community development. Yes.
Awesome. And there's a water safety event that you ladies are also hosting. It's called Teaming Up to Teach Water Safety. That's on February 4th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I want you guys to take a look at a little video.
Want to learn how to swim from Olympic USA swimmers for free? That's right. In an NFL city near you, we are bringing together pro football champions, NFL alumni, and Olympic USA swimmers for free swimming lessons for kids and adults so they can stay safe in the water. 1 month of formal swim lessons can reduce the risk of drowning in children by 88%. So let's do our part and be ready. It's fun for everyone.
Yeah, yesterday was fun. For me personally, I learned how to float, tread water a certain way. It's learning how to do it and knowing how to do it is something that is important.
I'm one of the people who are learning how to swim today, and I'm having a lot of fun. If you already know how to swim, show up and be a part, because it can be a benefit for others. It can be a draw if you come for others who want to come on out also.
The mission is to save lives, and by signing up for this partnership, you will be saving lives.
It is never too late to learn how to swim.
Water safety is everyone's game. Sign up today and join us in a city near you.
How wonderful. It's
I love it.
always so important to know how to swim and to learn how to swim. I learned when I was young, something my mother enforced, early on. I took classes when I was 3. How did this event come about?
Well, we were deciding, as a sisterhood, what do we want to stand for this upcoming year? And it was coming at a time that unfortunately there was a life lost within our NFL community due to drowning. And we decided, you know what, it's time that we stand for something, and we plan to leave a lasting impact in every NFL community that we serve. So we decided, how can we stand to encourage and to teach NFL players, NFL families, and then partner up with USA Swimming Olympians and use that platform to try to show kids, listen, you can be any age and you can be still learning how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
Come on out, join us. This is something that's fun. It's something that's that could be scary at first, but can grow into something that can make you feel more comfortable in the water, so that you're feeling more confident around, especially large bodies of water, to for the remainder of your life. So we wanted to serve our NFL communities, but we also wanted to reach and tap into every NFL city and every NFL community to leave a lasting impact. And that's exactly what we're doing coming up for Super Bowl week.
And what can people expect from the event? Like kind of walk me through it.
So we are hosting 200 kids from the New Orleans community, and the kids are coming to us from schools that are kind of notoriously known to serve a lower socioeconomic class, and these kids have not had the best access to swimming and to swimming lessons due to various different barriers, and it's our job to identify some of those barriers that that are there, so we can knock some of those down. So we'll be hosting 200 kids. The kids will be in the water. Their teachers are coming. The teachers will be in the water. NFL players, families will all be in the water together, and you have all of these different platforms, all of these different groups learning how to swim together. And when I tell you, it is super humbling being in the water and just getting to experience and to feel, sense of fear at the start of the session, and then people across the lap and just celebrating and joy at the end of it. So we're super excited. We're leaving behind $25,000 with the Sport of Pool Corps and the New Orleans community for the YMCA, so those kids can continue to have free swimming lessons after we leave. So I'm excited. Very humbling opportunity.
Who are some of the NFL players that might be there, and are they teaching the kids as well? Are they helping out, or?
And it depends on their skill level, but no, the teachers fall in the hands of the trained professionals, I think. So you'll have our OTF community and the guys who are our partners. Some of them are NFL alumni, Hall of Famers. Some of the potentially the Saints players are coming out, the active players. And the Players Association also partnered up with us. So active, retired, whatever it may be, our NFL community will be there.
Amazing. And anyone who's watching, is this something that someone can go to a website and sign up for still if they have a child or an adult who wants to learn how to swim, or is it closed off, or what is the status of that?
Unfortunately, it is closed off at this point. These are kids that we committed to these school systems to serve for this event. So, but moving forward in the future NFL cities, those sites will potentially be open as well. So keep an eye out for what's going next, because we'd love to have you.
Fabulous.
Love that. Thank you.
And so, Lacey, let's get back to the fashion show. What fashion lines can we expect to see on the runway?
Oh gosh, I can't give you all the deets because then I'll be giving you too much. But I give you a little sauce, and we have some amazing brands that we're going to be working with. Lululemon is one of our, of course, favorite brands, and you will see a little Lululemon rocking the runway. I will give you another little nugget. We do have
nuggets here on the Blonde Blitz. I'm very excited.
I know, right? I can't give you all the insight because earlier you asked me about if we were going to have a performer, because last year the performance was just like off the hook. But yes. I can't give you all the details. But yeah, Lululemon is one of the brands that we're gonna that you'll see rocking the runway. I know we also just recently had some talks of Pressed by Sarita.
Okay.
She is an NFL wife. So, we're super excited to support, someone in the NFL wives community who has a brand and a line. And we have special things that she's going to be doing. So look forward to that and seeing, it's going to be so much goodness. I just can't give you all the details, but you want to be there. Definitely want to be there. You do not want to miss this year. It's going to be fabulous.
And you mentioned entertainment. Last year it was SWV.
Last year it was SWV, and we had a ball.
Taj George is one of the members of the music group, and she's also an NFL wife. She's running back Eddie George's wife, and she's fantastic. It left me weak in the knees.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, and that's the one thing that I really enjoy about this sisterhood, because we have so many talented women that are a part of this organization, from doctors, lawyers, attorneys, singers, therapists. I mean, you cannot be more supportive, and so I'm just proud to be a part of the sisterhood and to have women like Dr. Hagar and some of our founders who have been, in this world for a long time. It's just, like she said, very humbling to say the least, so being able to support each other in what we're doing and in our businesses is amazing. So I'm looking forward to it.
The models on the runway are NFL wives, correct?
Yes. Okay. Wives or significant others of, retired or current, NFL players. So.
And how many? I feel like there was a lot of models last year.
So this year we have 50, I believe. 50 wives. And so the fun thing that we try to incorporate every year is we always want to save space for wives from both teams. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm not exactly sure yet which wives from, both of the Super Bowl teams who will be participating. But, I think it's fun to just kind of, see people's personalities on the runway and just, seeing people's chemistry. And then, at the very end, we always like to encourage the husbands to, do their little strut with their wife. And that's kind of like a highlight of the event. And, people love kind of seeing the guys, do their little walk and get their little 2 minutes of fame, if you will, because this day is all about fashion and stuff. So
absolutely. And you also do a woman of impact. You honor a different woman of impact, correct?
Yes, every year. So as I mentioned, Off the Field started back in 2006, and so over the years, what this organization has done is just picked a woman who embodies courage, embodies, impact, women who have been doing things throughout the community. And we allow the women in the NFL community to vote on this person. So we accept submissions throughout the year. And once we get those, then us as a board, we kind of review, and then we will reach out to the nominees to see if they're willing to accept. So we have a Woman of Impact Award. I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought. This is how I'm like overworked today.
I think you guys are really busy. You ladies are super busy with the event.
A week or so before Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Danielle Beverly Courage Award.
Yes, look, and I received that award like 2 years ago, right? Right. So that is another award that we give to our members who we believe have persevered through different things. And so I was honored to receive this award about 2 years ago when they had the Super Bowl here in Arizona, where I reside. And
Congratulations.
It was just very humbling because I wasn't expecting anything, and you never know who's like kind of paying attention to the work that you're doing or the advocacy that you're doing. And I have done a lot of advocacy for a lot of like the disabled and retired players. And so it was, a very humbling experience to receive that award from Off the Field 2 years ago. So we will be honoring somebody this year as well. So we are looking forward to, giving these women their flowers while they're here. And so I'm excited to be a part of that as well.
And I guess you can announce that before. I'm just guessing.
Such special women. Like these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, and I love these stats from your marketing materials. Over the years, you ladies have sold out 21 fashion show events in 23 Super Bowl cities. You've raised $1 million, 45 charitable benefactors, and have had 62 amazing women honored. So I think that those are amazing numbers. You ladies do an amazing job, and I'm excited for the week coming up. Lacey, if someone is watching and wants to get tickets to the fashion show, where do they go?
If you would like to get tickets to the Off the Field Fashion Show, I would first say make sure you're following us on all the major platforms. So on social media, you should follow Off the Field NFL Wives Association. We actually have a link in the bio, so it's super, super easy. You click the link, it'll take you directly to our website. We do have a website that will take you to our Eventbrite. And so that's where you can pick, if you want to get a VIP ticket or if you want to get general admission ticket. Like I said, these proceeds are going to two amazing foundations, Sideline Pass and then the Robert Royal Foundation. So, it's a fun experience, but more importantly, it's given back to the community. And so
absolutely. And I'll try to put that website and all your socials in the show as well. And
NFL Wives, please, absolutely. We would love all the support we could get for sure.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining the Blonde Blitz. I will see you ladies in NOLA. I'm very excited.
Yes, safe travels. Thank you so very much for having us.
Bye. Thank you for being here. Okay, bye. All right, guys. Next, Shay Holland, HATV designer to the athletes, gives us tips on the ultimate at-home Super Bowl setup, as inspired by the newly redesigned Caesars Superdome.
For the touchdown.
Okay, I'm super hyped for Super Bowl now.
I know, watching that video, it makes you, just something comes up. It's going to be an incredible game, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Who do you want to win, or what are your thoughts on the game in general?
Oh my gosh, this is a tough one. I'm going to say I want the Eagles to win. I'm going to channel my inner Deb.
Correct answer, Shay.
Yeah, but I think it's just going to be a fun time, and that stadium is just going to be a killer venue this year. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a full-on epic experience.
First of all, I have to say I love your pink. Thank you for representing.
I did it in honor of you, so I don't have the green, but I'll put on the pink.
All good. Pink works. Wanted to get a quick fire update. I know you've been you've been reporting on the fires and kind of keeping everyone updated. Are there any athletes that are stepping up to be a part of the rebuild?
I think I said this earlier. I think a lot of athletes were going to step up just because we're now hitting, obviously NFL offseason. And now we've just heard as of this week that Magic Johnson from the Lakers is going to be leading a private fundraising group called LA Rises, was appointed by the mayor to lead this committee that also includes the Dodgers chairman and the Olympic Organizing Committee chairman. And the Olympics, of course, are here in LA in 2028. And so I think they're going to be pulling a lot of NFL players, a lot of obvious MLB and NFL players as well. So we'll get the names as it starts to move forward. Literally was just announced within the last 24 hours. But it is so exciting to see these pro athletes taking the lead on rebuilding LA. I just think it's amazing.
I thought, and you had sent me that article and I was like, yes, this is great. Just the celebrities are stepping up, athletes are stepping up. Because, LA just really needs help right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a long process, probably, 3 to 5 year process. But, it feels like, LA did not want to lose the Olympics. We've got several other major events coming up too. So
we've got the Super Bowl coming up too.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just a lot that the city was able to get behind. And I think I'm hoping that the residents will feel very supported just by all the big names that are coming out to help.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of big names and Super Bowl, the Caesars Superdome is where the Super Bowl is going to be held. It just finished a massive renovation after Hurricane Katrina. What can fans expect to see? I know we saw a little bit there, but I can't wait to see it.
Oh, I know. It's been completely modernized. It just went through almost like $500 million plus renovation. Interior. The exterior had been, as we know, severely damaged in Katrina. And there was talk actually of demolishing the stadium because it's actually one of the oldest as well. It's about 50 years old. And it's just so iconic to New Orleans that they wanted to save it, and they've done an incredible job. I have not yet seen the inside. I've just been able to see, some of the tours, the video tours, and it's all done with the fan experience in mind. And there's a lot of high tech, a lot of AI in there as well. So it's going to be, and it was in use this season, but for a lot of people, this is going to be the first time kind of we're seeing it, obviously on the Super Bowl stage. Although this Caesars Superdome has hosted, I'm pretty sure it's the most Super Bowls of any stadium. This is going to be the 8th one. And so, yeah, it's going to be quite an experience for all of the fans to, just be there for this Super Bowl, though. And especially because last week they had a massive snowstorm in New Orleans.
It was wild to see it was in snow.
I know. They said it was, so the last record was 2.7 inches of snow. This was over 8 inches of snow. So this is historic epic snowstorm that slowed the preparation. But last I've checked, they're back on schedule with the prep for the Super Bowl. But I can imagine the heart attacks that were going on. And then, of course, they had another tragedy over New Year's Day with, that attack nearby. So this dome and this experience is really a comeback story on its own.
Yeah, no, and that's fantastic. So as far as the Super Bowl is concerned, it's one of the largest parties on the planet. Let's be honest. I cannot wait to be there. But some of the fans, it's very expensive, so they may not be able to be there in person. But what are some of your tips for throwing the ultimate Super Bowl party?
Yeah, definitely. It is. I believe it is the most watched television event. So anyone who's doing an at-home watch party is going to be joining millions and literally millions and millions. I think it's 200 million plus that watch these Super Bowls at home. So it's definitely a great time to throw that party. If you haven't thrown a party in a while, this is a great excuse to do it. And some of the inspiration can be taken from the dome from that fan experience. And the number one thing you want to focus on is the viewing experience. That's why that's what this is going to be about on Super Bowl Sunday. And we've gone over that in a couple, Deb, of your of my segments before on this, where we talked about making sure that TV is at a comfortable eye level, making sure the speakers are at ear level, those kinds of things. And as you're having this party, you want to make sure that every single seat is going to have a good view. So however you set it up, do it in advance and go sit in those seats and check it out and make sure that everybody, there's not glare coming in somebody's eyes from a light. Or if you're here on the West Coast, it'll be daylight still when it starts. So you just want to make sure that, the light coming in from your windows, if you don't have draperies yet, you may want to get them and that kind of thing. So really the first thing is going to be focusing on your viewing experience. It's a great time to just take a microfiber cloth and just clean that TV screen. And if you're not getting a new one, or if you have a projector screen, just make sure it's flat. All those kind of prep that can be done in advance are great to go ahead and, and get out of the way so you don't have to worry about them on Super Bowl weekend. And then, of course, the second thing you're going to want to focus on is that, we're not going to say fan experience, but your guest experience. You want to make sure your guests are going to have a great time. And so this is where you're going to do, think about their experience, the food that's going to be involved. And I would say this is a great Super Bowl to forget the regular, nachos and wings and go for a Mardi Gras menu or a New Orleans inspired menu with like gumbo and jambalaya and po' boy sandwiches. And, just look it up on YouTube and find some of those fun recipes. So it's a time to have some fun beyond just wearing the team colors. Of course, everybody's going to be in their team colors, and there's great football packages that you can buy on, say, Amazon or Walmart or wherever. You can get the whole package of like tablecloth and, napkins and that kind of thing to really make it fun. I think, that's the goal of the at-home viewing party, is to make this viewing experience as fun as possible.
I think Party City has a lot of stuff too. I know I've purchased several things from Party City, so check that out too. Some people have several different TVs going on at the same time during Super Bowl, depending on how big the party is. Do you suggest that, or should they just have one?
No, I think it's a great idea. And in fact, that was one of the things I forgot to mention. I know that video goes really fast, but if you look at those suites, for example, and we are not going to have the suite experience, by the way, those suites are going for.
I'm not either, and I'm going to be there. So
they're going for $500,000 to $3 million.
Insane. Super Bowl prices are insane.
1 night. So yeah. Yes, even the high level seats right now in the nosebleed. I think, what are they going for? Like $5K is the cheapest.
$5K at this point.
Between 5 and 11K right now. They might come down a little bit, but anyway. So we'll just do the at-home viewing instead of trying to get into a suite right now. But so in those suites, they have multiple TVs, and that's so in case people want to stand or sit or whatever. So you may want to figure out a way to bring another TV if you have one from another room and add it, because it's a long game. It does, what is it going to be, 3 or 4 hours of sitting? Some, people may want to stand in a different area for a while. And that's another thing as you're doing your setup, watch your traffic flow, meaning you don't want somebody walking obviously in front of the TV. There's the big Jalen Hurts.
You're getting hit.
And somebody gets up to go to the bathroom and they're right in front of the TV. So that is another main thing, is whatever you do, figure out a way for everybody to walk behind if they're going to get some food or if they're going to get a beverage or whatever. You want to make sure nobody's cutting off that TV view. And that might be why you want to have multiple TVs going on too. If somebody wants to maybe eat for a while and doesn't have a place to set their food, they may want to stand up, at the kitchen island or something. So there's definitely ways that you want to configure. This is one of those events we say break the rules of party planning and get rid of any furniture you don't need in that room for just that day. Maybe stick it in the garage so that you can set it up the way that you want it set up.
Awesome. Those are some great points. Thank you, Shay. Where can our audience find you?
You can find me at Shay Holland Official on most socials. And if those tickets come down a little bit, I know I'll be on a plane, but right now they're just not coming down yet.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. Well, thank you. And go Birds.
I don't have quite the Go Birds in me just yet, Deb. I'm working on it for you.
All right, we'll work on it. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on. All right, guys, next up, sports betting expert Alex White and comedian host Frank Nicotero are coming to us from South Point Casino in Las Vegas with their best bet for the big game.
the Blonde Blitz. Alex White here from South Point Studio.
Frank Nicotero here, host of Punchlines.
Very excited about Super Bowl 59, and we'll give who we think is going to win the actual game at the end, but we both have some really good prop bets for you. Frank, you want to start?
I do like the 2-point conversion. Successful 2-point conversion. It is, it's plus money, plus 210. These two teams, we know that they like to go for it. So I like that one a lot. And also, if you want a fun one, number of players to have a pass completion in the game over 2.5 is plus 175. These are both value bets. Over 2.5, which means both quarterbacks obviously are going to get completion, but I think maybe a halfback option trick play.
Maybe one of the backup quarterbacks has to come in or
Exactly.
trick play. I really like Dallas Goedert going over his receiving yards. I know you love that too, Deb. 49.5 or better. He's done this in 3 of his last 4 games. We know that they got to go to the tight ends. I like both tight ends in this game, actually. So we'll be looking at those prop bets. Best of luck to everybody, Deb. Rooting your Eagles on. I like the Eagles to win Super Bowl 59.
I'll take the Eagles. That's why we put the green lights on for you, Deb. Go Birds.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Alex and Frank. That was super special. Thank you for making me smile. Guys, you can find them both on Punchlines with Frank Nicotero on the South Point Casino YouTube channel. All right, guys, to end today's show, we have got Ben Troop, former tight end for the Titans and the Buccaneers, to give his Super Bowl game pick. I still dance to that NFL music every single time.
Yeah.
How are you, Ben?
I'm always good, Deb. Always good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for coming on. Then there were 2. That's all I have to say.
I think it's going to be incredible. I think the thing about the Chiefs is, outside of Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks, they're giving the same team a second go round. They played San Francisco twice. One time with Jimmy Garoppolo, second time with Brock Purdy. Problem is with this team, the same quarterback, Jalen Hurts, is the same quarterback this time, and I think it's going to be fireworks. I mean, I don't know who's going to – the Swifties are going to be out. I don't know who's going to be up there in
They're
the booth.
in full force.
You know, but Travis Kelce and, listen, when you got this immovable object known as Kansas City Chiefs, when you got Andy Reid being the all-time winningest coach for both the Eagles and the Chiefs, one person got something the other person don't, and it is called Saquon Barkley. Look, I believe that Saquon Barkley is the NFL MVP. Nothing against you, Lamar. Nothing against you, Josh Allen. But there's this guy by the name of Patrick Mahomes that said, look, I never said we couldn't be beat. I never said that, we are a dynasty. But in order to do it, you got to go through us to do it. And I think what makes Kansas City dangerous is they're not doing it in the conventional way we've seen. They're blowing teams out. These games be back and forth, even throughout the course of the season. But Jalen Hurts, no one ever puts him in the MVP category. No one ever says he's that franchise quarterback like a Joe Burrow, like a Josh Allen, like a Lamar Jackson, like a Patrick Mahomes.
It's actually the opposite, I feel like. They put Jalen Hurts down.
It's very much. But I will say this. To play for the Philadelphia Eagles, you have to be built to do 2 things. One, take the criticism of the fans, and you have to take the criticism of the media. Well, if you're in Philadelphia, if you are a guy like Jalen Hurts, people forget that he was 26-2 in college, moved over for Tua. Came to the SEC championship game. Tua wasn't playing well. He steps in and wins it. Leaves Alabama, goes to Oklahoma. Was a Heisman Trophy runner-up. Then he leaves there and goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. No one really wanted him at the second rounder. He's already in Super Bowl number 2. This is his second Super Bowl appearance. Well, Nick Foles just happened to be on the set with Tom Brady. And Nick Foles was talking about Tom Brady said, I don't like the fact that you got the, you beat me in the Super Bowl, but I don't like the fact that you got the catch. And I dropped my pass.
The Philly special.
Well, the Philly, and the shout out to Trey Burton, Florida Gator tight end, who actually threw the pass to Nick Foles. But Nick Foles is telling Jalen Hurts, he said, listen, man, listen, if you want to be well known, be the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. But if you want to be iconic, win the Super Bowl. Because Nick Foles, regardless of Nick Foles' career, liked it, didn't like it, whatever, he has a Super Bowl against who? Tom Brady. Well, who are they putting in the greatest of all time conversation right now? That would be Patrick Mahomes. So I think it's going to be the Eagles, though, because I just think that Nick Sirianni staring over Andy Reid. You got Jalen Hurts staring over that Patrick Mahomes. You got this defense, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Bond and C.J. Gardner Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay, and the list goes on and on and on.
God bless Vic Fangio. That's all I have to say.
Fangio versus, you know what I'm saying, Spagnuolo is who's going to have the better game plan. But Philly has got there in an unconventional way. And I just think that Saquon Barkley and just who he is, what makes Saquon Barkley who he is what he does on the field. But what you love about him is he loves his teammates and his teammates love him. He's always, hey, man, I don't want all the attention to be on me. The fact that he goes up to his daughter before the game and they got their little handshake. Like, Saquon Barkley.
Let the young guys eat. He said it once. He said it several times.
But the most famous quads in sports is in Philly. His name is Saquon. And I think that while it's going to be a back and forth affair, Philadelphia going to say, all right, Saquon, now it's time to do it in front of the whole world, which you've done it. But now we're trying to show the whole world what we knew when you came out of Penn State second overall pick. When people thought your career was kind of like in the dumps because you was, with the Giants, and they did their unthinkable. They let you hit free agency. You was in free agency for about 2 minutes. You get a call from a Philadelphia area code, and the rest is history. I'm looking for it, but everybody knows it. While I am picking Philly to win, the Kansas City Chiefs will not go quietly into the night. They're not going to just
not even close.
But football is like boxing. If you become a world champion, they're going to say, congratulations, champ, but who did you fight? Oh, I fought Kansas City. What? I knocked them out. Because in order for one dynasty to arise or emerge, you have to dethrone another one. So if Andy Reid's dynasty, which I think he had a small dynasty in Philly the first time, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, they go to 4 straight NFC Championship game, finally played in 2004. I just think that for me, I'm just looking at this team as a whole. I don't know how they keep this team together with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and Saquon Barkley, because a lot of these guys are rookie on the rookie contracts. But Kansas City is the creme de la creme. They are the gold standard, right? But for me, every time, you got these great teams, great players, great moments, they say, man, who's going to be the one to dethrone them? They say, Lou, it's a dude by the name of Jalen Hurts. It's a guy by the name of Nick Sirianni. It's these gritty, I call them the gritty Philly Eagles. They gritty, man. If you've ever been to Philly, you only got 2 kinds of cheesesteaks. One got cheese whiz, the other one got cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Whiz.
Exactly. But I've seen both teams a lot this year. I've seen Philadelphia, do it and plus this is the same Philadelphia team in 2020, in 2023. They just fell off the map. They just 2024, they said, look, man, this is our year. We don't care how it looks. And if you are a Washington Commanders fan, man, God bless y'all. That wasn't even a win. That was
a domination.
They could have scored 70 points. They really.
I think they at the end started to feel bad for them, to be honest.
The big dog Shane Lake said, to be the champ, you must beat the champs. And the thing is, look, the thing about the champ is this. He can take a punch and he can give a punch. As long as Philly is going to throw punches back, which they will, I think they got to deliver that knockout punch. And I will say this, not that it matters, but if Trey Burton threw the Philly pass to Nick Foles, let A.J. Brown throw a pass to Jalen Hurts. I mean, the man been reading on the sideline. People think the man drive $30,000 Honda Civics. That is not his car. I'm sick of that. That is not. No, that is A.J. Brown's car, but that's not the one he drives. Come on.
Right.
I'm not saying I know what A.J. Brown drives, but I'm saying, come on, man. It's A.J. I'm not, and that could be his, but I'm pretty sure that his garage is looking real nice these days. Just saying.
So funny. I agree with you. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. But I'm also a huge Eagles fan. So if I say that Kansas City is going to win, I might set fire to myself. So have to go with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a better team. Straight out. I mean, they're a more balanced team.
They are. Look, we are blessed as NFL fans. We are blessed to have 2 of the the great franchises in NFL history, Kansas City and Philly. But I think the thing about Philly was because had Philly been playing Buffalo and they won it, they would have said, oh, well, it wasn't, Patrick Mahomes and them. Well, what they going to say now? What they going to say? Because Nick Foles is the one that handed the trophy out for the NFC Championship game. He's the one handed it out.
Yep.
I just will say this. Kansas City It has been a great ride. But they got Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, whenever the situation calls for it, that's when he is at his best. He gonna make plays.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that the Philly, they said, look, man, we're gonna leave it all out there. But you said it. Them defensive coordinators, Spagnuolo, Fangio, hey man, whichever one got the best game plan, they can find a way to shut down them opposing offenses, they got a shot to get it done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the Eagles have the dominant offensive line. I think they have the dominant defense. I think they have the best running back in the league. I think Kansas City has the best quarterback and a great head coach. So that's the way I kind of see the two teams stacking up. Kansas City is favored by 1.5. I'm not quite sure what happened to the Eagles being on top. Last week, they were, plus 175 to win Super Bowl last week. I don't know how that just like all of a sudden drop. Maybe I should ask Alex that question, but they're 1.5 favored. But I think, I think in order for Kansas City to win, they're going to have to slow down Hurts and Barkley and get past a top-rated defense. And no other team has been able to do it this season. So let's see if Kansas City can.
Deb is calling. Well, Deb is in Deb's contract. Whatever, she can't pick against the Eagles.
I can't. It's in my contract. But I mean, and I will say this too. I was at the 2020 Tampa game and I saw Mahomes fall to Brady then. So I think he can fall. I'm bringing those vibes to NOLA with me. I think he can fall to the Eagles. So
okay, listen. Jalen Hurts to me is why people think they know what the franchise quarterback look like. I get it. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. This is the golden era of quarterback. And I am not taking that away. Mm-hmm. But Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. So they make room. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. So they make room for moments like this. Jalen Hurts, have you a day, sir. Darius Slay, Georgia boy, Brunswick, Georgia to be exact. I don't know if this is going to be your last. This might be his last down of football. But if it is, sir, you have had I hope you get to walk off in the sunset with that Super Duper Bowl. In Brunswick, Georgia, the man doesn't want a parade. He wants a street. Big Play Slay Avenue. I'm calling it.
Yes. We took calling to the mayor. That's happening. All right, Ben, thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Do not forget the show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog Fantasy and use promo code BLONDE and we'll double your deposit for up to $100. Of course, if you like today's show, hit subscribe and follow us on all socials at the Blonde Blitz. Next week, I will be in NOLA for Super Bowl week, so check at the Blonde Blitz for updates about a possible Super Bowl show for Media Row. I'll be there, so I'm going to try to do a little something. We'll have one more show on Wednesday, February 12th to recap the Super Bowl for you guys. We're going to also do a combine show and a draft show. And then probably take a little bit of a hiatus because I am tired. But I'm really excited for Super Bowl. I'll see you guys there and go Birds.